cutting horse was born on the open range, where ranchers would gather vast herds for branding, doctoring, and drive them up the famous trails to feed a hungry nation over 100 years ago. Some horses were better suited for separating a cow from the herd, becoming the royalty of the remuda. Ranchers would brag and bet on who had the best cutting horse, and competitions arose. These select few were crossbred to create what we have today.
In a big round pen, the spirits are high, and every once in a while, good horse come by. There's a loose rein, saddle on tight, sitting in the middle, make money tonight. Run like hell and turn on the dime. Get yourself a horse like mine. Watch him go, you feel the tingle of the fire and the blood. Run like hell and turn on a dime in the sand.
Howdy, folks. Kenny Emai here for the Weekend Cutter. Come join us as we take you on a trip from the practice pen to the show arena and let you listen in as top cutting horse trainers prepare their students to compete in the Western industry's most exciting equine sport. So sit back, relax, and you'll learn what it takes to become a top weekend cutter right here on RFD TV.
Your baby Lena, you just might be the richest man around.
Iconoclast Sports Boots. Visit westernlegacysales.com.
When you feed a Purina product, you're definitely going to see a difference. The work that we do here at the farm really contributes to horses overall.
No one else invests the time and energy and effort like this research farm and the horses we have here.
They're just, a spectacular animal.
Stay tuned. We're busy here and we got a lot more work to do.
See the Purina difference. Take the 60-day challenge and save on Purina feed. Sign up at purinadifference.com.
There are really no obstacles in getting a horse insured anymore. You don't need to find a vet. You don't need to load the horse up in the trailer to go get it vetted. You don't need to pay for those x-rays. All you have to do is find a phone, and we all know we have one of those at the tip of our fingers no matter where we're at, and just call 1-800-228-8664. And if you know you're going to be picking up a horse on a Saturday or Sunday, call us on Friday, and we'll get it all put together, and that horse will be insured when you load it up in the trailer.
Hey folks, welcome to this week's episode of the Weekend Cutter. Let's go visit with Robert Jukes. He's one of the more acclaimed cutting horse farriers in the business out in Weatherford, Texas. Then we're going to go visit with Ben Robertson as he's working with a young man named Dustin Brewer. Thanks for joining us this week. Howdy folks, we're out here in Weatherford, Texas. We're visiting with Robert Jukes. Robert's one of the more acclaimed cutting horse farriers in the Weatherford area and abroad. Robert, thank you for being with us today on the Weekend Cutter.
You bet.
This is such an important but overseen job that you do. You have to get these horses sound from the ground.
Right.
And a lot of people maybe take for granted, their farrier or the job that he's doing and then expect them to perform at 100% in the show pen. Tell me a little bit about, you're from Australia.
Right.
Been here 16 years.
I've been shoeing horses for 16 years. Been in the States now for roughly 10 years.
Right.
And all I seem to have worked on since I've arrived in America has been cutting horses. So what I try and shoot for in every horse I touch is a good hoof paston angle, like all the farriers have to use out here in the field. We don't have x-ray machines.
Right.
And we can't look inside their feet, so you have to train your eye to pick up on just a few little key points through your feet to achieve a proper balanced hoof.
Right.
So that's what we're about to get into here in a little bit, I believe, is we get to shoe Kenny's horse, and we're going to get to go through it with him and see if we can't point out a few little key points that the farriers look for in feet to achieve perfect balance.
Well, yeah, I brought you one that I believe is in need of your expert assistance. So if you're ready, we'll go get him in here and let you take a look at him.
Let's do it.
This is the youth group from the Florida Cutting Horse Association. Cutter will be right back.
The Weekend Cutter monthly magazine for all the news, stories, and updates from top trainers, riders, competitors, and fans of our sport. Go to theweekendcutter.com, scroll down, and click on subscribe to our magazine.
We're the Gilberts from Coshada, Louisiana.
And welcome back to the Weekend Cutter.
Hi, I'm John Mitchell, and this is Talking a Bit. I'd like to talk about the Short Shank Buster. Me and Brad Lash and Darryl Davis, we designed this bit, I don't know, 6-8 years ago. I come up with this because I ride in a snaffle bit a lot training, and I found with a long shank bridle, I'd get a horse over bridled while I was showing, making a cut. Anyway, we shortened the shanks quite a bit, as you can see there, between this and the original Buster Welsh, or grazing bit. And we come up and we ended up, this is where we went with it. And I find I can steer a horse real good. It doesn't get a horse tucking its nose too much where I can't make a clean cut and just use my hands good across a horse's neck where it doesn't fold in and stay underneath the horse, where you lose control. So this size shank really suits me. Then with the weight of the grazer, when we shorten the shanks, we got even lesser weight. So it's very light. I haven't found a horse yet that won't carry this bridle. This is from early 3-year-old through to horse I'm showing that's 6 years old. And I like there's two main ports. They've come up with several different ports in this bridle, but there's two main ports. There's this medium, and then there's a low. It's just a slight raise, low port. I like this because it's got lots of tongue release. And really, it's a very mild bit, but very balanced. And you are able to do a transition from a snaffle into a bridle like this very easy. And that makes it a comfortable transition from riding around, loping them in the bridle, to within weeks I work a horse in it and can work a horse in it like a snaffle. Obviously get used to the curb. I don't wear a curb chain real tight. I think, the purchase on the bridle is just a regular. It's not over, it's not under, it's not low, it's not high. But where I ride my the curb chain is, so there's a lot of warning coming in to me getting a hold of a horse. It's not quick and sharp. There's a lot of warning, and that makes it smooth. And the smoother the better for me, especially when you're showing. I don't want the horse really reacting off the bridle. I want him to pack it comfortably and understand what I want through working the cow. And this has been a real success in the industry through when I've watched the bit grow. I mean, it's nearly everybody's got one or two. And so I think it's been really accepted, and it's a great little bridle. And I think that covers everything from being able to lope around in it very early in a 3-year-old year to showing a 6-year-old makes it a very multitask bit. And that's Talking a Bit, and I'm John Mitchell. Thank you.
The Talking a Bit segment was designed to let you know what trainers consider are their favorite bits and what their uses are. Be sure to talk with your trainer to see what bit works best for you and your horse.
All right, so on this foot, as you can probably clearly see, it has a lot more heel and is a narrower more boxy looking foot, like that's nearly a rectangle. Not very symmetrical. And these box feet like this are very hard to get symmetrical, so we're gonna do our best. Same thing, first thing I'm going for is the apex of that frog. That's your farrier's X-ray.
And again, that's when you're doing your trim. It's your personal preference, starting from the top and go around to your...
My preference starting from the toe back to each heel. Now I'm just following up what I began underneath there. Like you can see this bevel right here. That's going to be my guideline to where what I dress off and what I leave. You know, you can't dress in past that bevel or you're going to get into the balance you've put on the bottom side. So you start dressing him down. You see that hoof wall's rolled off. It's not straight. So I'm going to stay a little high here because it's crowned off like this, so we don't want to make that worse than what it is. I like to trim my fronts and then I like to trim my hinds. It's a lot easier to keep them paired up that way.
Right.
On this guy, you still treat them as a pair even though they're different feet.
Exactly.
You know, so you've got to trim the individual foot, but you want to also keep them as close to a pair as you can.
Robert, you've got all the feet trimmed up the way you like them. Now you're going to start putting the shoes on him. Tell me about this breakover point that you've got in his front shoes and why that's there.
Well, this is something I like to do on every horse I shoe because I predominantly shoe cutters, or that's all I shoe is cutting horses. So I like to give these horses every advantage I can when it comes to ease of motion.
Right.
And this is why I put this rolled toe in the front shoes. I do it in front feet only.
Okay.
And I put this in there just to move the breakover back on the horse's front feet, and this just relieves some of the torque forces and stuff that goes on inside the hoof capsule while the horse is trying to break over.
Okay.
So if we move this breakover back ½ an inch, well, that greatly reduces some of the torque forces and the stress on the tendons and stuff just by making it a lot easier on that horse to break over. So the horse's foot's going to leave the ground a little sooner and it's going to be a little easier for him to break over. So real useful tool in cutting horses.
Well, and everybody has seen the shoes when your farrier's taking them off, and the front shoes, you know, after 6 weeks have that breakover. You've basically, and that's because from their natural motion, that's where they've worn that down to where it's a comfortable point.
Right.
You're giving them comfort from day one by doing this.
From day one, you know, and I've ground this like a lot of farriers, you know, they're trying to get the most out of these shoes, all right, and a lot of farriers like to reset their shoes, and which you can reset your shoes at least one time. You should be able to reset your shoes, you know, if you're using a steel shoe.
Right.
Well, I've ground this toe to just highlight that rolled toe, but what I actually do to put this in the shoe is I forge it in. So you're actually packing the metal in the shoe and you're actually making the toe of the shoe stronger by forging it in. If you were just to grind it in, it probably would weaken the toe a little bit and you may not be able to reset your shoes. But if you actually forge this into the shoe, you're packing the material and making it stronger, so the shoe should last for another reset.
So when you're hot shoeing and you're forging that shoe, you're compressing that steel, that metal, to where it's making it stronger. Whereas if you did this on a cold shoe, it could weaken the structure of the iron.
Right.
Okay, so that's the reason. Another one of the reasons why, you know, you hot shoe.
Hot shoe, right.
All right, perfect.
A lot of benefits out of hot shoeing. You can do a lot more to a keg shoe. Another thing I like to do on keg shoes too This is a hind shoe, and I like to put little heel checks in the heels of the shoe just for a tiny little bit more added support back there behind.
Right.
And this is another thing that can really only be achieved through hot shoeing.
Okay.
So just
a couple of benefits.
Couple of benefits out of hot shoeing your
versus
horses.
Cold shoeing. And so, you know, we've got to visit with Robert on a number of different steps in the shoeing process of these cutting horses. And, you know, it's something for you to talk to your farrier about, but it's definitely a benefit for what we're trying to get out of these performance horses. Are you ready to put them on?
We're ready to nail them on.
All right, let's go.
All right. I just want to relieve the seat of the corn before I nail my shoes on. Any little sole pressure. My hot shoe highlighted that for me, so we're ready to nail. You're nailing up horses. Generally want to try and keep your nails in front of the widest part of the foot. Because under weight bearing, that foot expands and contracts. So if you nail back past the widest part of the foot, it can actually restrict your hoof capsule a little bit. So we want to try and keep our nails in front of the widest part. Pretty nice fit. I like to shoe my horses up front, like with a little bit of shoe, but obviously not too much. Well, what we're doing now, Stuart, is he's finishing this horse up for me, giving my back a much needed spell. But pretty important part still in the shoeing process. This is essentially what is going to hold those shoes on for 6 weeks.
Well, Robert, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking care of old Deuce here. I think we're going to go to a cutting this weekend and see how the high performance Deuce works compared to the okay, let's just go do something Deuce.
Yeah, yeah.
Now folks are going to see this and they're going to want to know how to get a hold of Robert Jukes. Do you have an email address?
They can contact me at acjukes@hotmail.com.
All right. That's how you can get a hold of Robert. Robert is available to come and maybe even help you with your farrier program, work with your farrier, take a look at your horse's feet, whatever you need. This is one of the best in the business. Thank you, Robert.
Appreciate it, Kenny. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for being on the show. Well, folks, I hope you're a little more informed about how to keep your horse sound from the ground, thanks to Robert Jukes. Now let's go visit with Ben Roberson right after these messages and see Mr. Dustin Brewer.
Wrangler Premium Performance Cowboy Cut Jeans. Comfort that works as hard as you do. 20% longer lasting denim. More comfortable waist. Premium Performance Cowboy Cut Jeans. Wrangler. Long live Cowboys.
This is Ruben Maheno from Temecula, California, and welcome back to the Weekend Cutter.
Hi, this is Ben Robertson. We're here in Weatherford, Texas at the Brewer Ranch. We have a very unique situation here. My boss, Tim Brewer, has triplet grandsons that are 14, and this is one of them here. This is Dustin, and Dustin's been cutting with me for about 1.5 years now, and they started showing. This is his horse here, Bodie Playboy. Why don't you tell us about your horse a little bit?
What I say?
What's his sire?
His sire is Bodie
Boonsmall, right?
Yeah.
And he's out of the same mare that your brother, the mother to your brother's horse was his High Playgirl.
Yeah.
And your grandfather used to show that horse, right?
Yeah, he did pretty good on her.
He did pretty good on her, didn't he? She was a really good horse for him. You want to get to practice a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, let's practice. Use those feet. Get those toes out and heels down. Step right up there a little bit. Good. Back him up. See him? He's creeping forward right there. Make him stay back on his butt. Sit down. You just heard me tell the cutter to sit down. You sit down in that stop, so when that horse is stopping, you're not flopped over the front and cause them to turn improperly. Now let's get back to the practice. Stop it. Now go. Heels down. Sit down. Good. Back him up right there a little bit. Use that cow leg when you back him up. Hey. Cow side leg all the way across, and let's get him stopped on those ends. Be patient, wait on that cow. All the way across this cow, and let's get him stopped on this side. Good, put your hand back down. Good job. Oh, good. All the way across, and get your heels down. That'll boy. Hey, hey. Good. All right, quit that cow. Step up there, step up, step up. That was your chance. When that cow cleared from the rest of the herd, that was your chance to step up and put your hand down. Don't let him creep up there to it. Now go. Cow side leg. Sit down on him. Herd leg right there. You just heard me tell the cutter, herd leg. That means when you feel your horse getting too flat back toward the herd, press him with the herd leg back into the cow. Now let's get back to the practice. Heels down. Good, Dustin. Good. All the way across. Make him get away from that cow a little bit. Sit down. Good. Cow side leg. Good. Get all the way across there. Good. All right, quit him right there. Okay, Dustin, that was pretty good practice. We got to work on some stuff. There was a couple times there where your horse tried to lean on that cow just a little bit. We rode him off with our cow leg to make him get away from that cow.
Yeah.
We had to stop him a couple times and back him up. Overall, I think we had a good practice and he finished up good, right?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You ready to go to the horse show?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go to the horse show. Hey, just about half of them. Dustin, just about half of them. This cow walking out's okay, but just take your time and you need to drive way up, okay? Slow down, walk slow, steady. Listen, all these are fresh and you're first, so we're gonna cut the last one, so be patient. Be patient. Be patient, wait, just wait. Be still. Just be still. Wait on the last cow. Now, stay with her. Hold on. Hey, shh. Really, don't lean your shoulders. You need to come over here when you get a chance. Sit and wait. All the way over here. Sit and wait. All the way over here. Sit and wait going there. That'll boy. Stay down in that saddle. Come on, use your feet. Come on, keep him alive. Stay down in that saddle. Next time, be tough. Come on, be tough. Hey, shh, shh, quit. Good boy. Easy with your hand right there. Good job. Use those feet just a little softer when you need to use them so you don't get a reaction. He responds, okay? Step right up there. Same thing, last cow. Wait, wait. Look at the back, look at the back, look at the back, look at the back, look at the back. Wait. Whatever, wait, slow down, back up. You gotta slow down. Stay down in that saddle. Keep those feet close to him. That'll boy. Cow side leg, stay down in that saddle. Good boy. There you go. Come on, squeeze him up. We got 27 seconds. Be smart next time. All the way across. Right there. Right here off the top. Come to me. Right here. Slow down. Take your time. You're all right. Cow side leg. Hey, sit down on him. Stay down in that saddle. Be smart. Cow leg. Good. All the way across. 2 seconds. Good boy. Good. Whoa. Stop right there. Good job.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Big thanks to Robert Jukes, Johnny Mitchell, Tim Brewer, and the West Central Texas Cutting Horse Association. Y'all be sure and come cut up with us a little bit next week on the Weekend Cutter.
Watch him go, you feel the tingle of the fire and the blood. Run like hell and turn on down in the sand, all the mud. Catch your mares with corn in a can, take them on down to the big man. Put them in a feather light mill tonight, haul them, roll them on down the road. Take them on down, take them on down, take them on down like a lane. Take them on down, take them on down, take them on down like a lane.
Visit theweekendcutter.com's merchandise page for all your shirts, caps, t-shirts, decals, anything you need to look like you watch The Weekend Cutter. Be sure and go to The Weekend Cutter's Facebook page and like us.